We're going to look at some techniques for developing ideation sketches quickly. Again, with the goal being extracting that which is in your mind and putting it on paper so you can share it with others. And so you get visual feedback yourself. So first we'll look at Scribble Sketching, which is this technique where you develop shapes quickly and you let your eye give feedback to your hand as you develop these. So here I'm going to draw some people. And I just keep scribbling over until I get what I like. So it's sort of like gestural drawings, where I'm just scribbling to pull these out. And I can do all kinds of poses very quickly. And this goal is really just to help those that maybe feel awkward with drawing to see the power of what they can do just between their hand and their eye. And you can draw all kinds of things. And so you scribble until you know what it's right, and you'll see it when it is correct. If it's not, for example, I'll make this person's legs really short, and I know they're short, so I can just kind of scribble over what I've already done and stretch everything out a bit and create a less malproportioned person. And this leads into another technique, this empathic sketching. I'm going to use a pen because it shows up a bit better. And this is where I can just draw in the same way as scribble sketching. I can work lines out in a way that I like. So I can just kind of draw lines that indicate some object I want to make, whatever that may be. And here I'm doing these sort of loose drawings, but I can use the scribble technique in the same sense. So when I develop these lines, I can kind of scratch them in until I think they're the way they should be. So this is, you can do a pencil or pen, but you can see you can scratch these things in, and then when you think you have what you want, see I'm just using the scratch technique, so if I don't like something I just go back and fix it, and then I can go back, and I'm going to use a Sharpie because it shows up better here, to hit these contour lines and make them dark, and just make the final curve exactly what I want. And of course with curves it's always good to rotate the paper if you can. I won't do it too much here, and I can pick out the lines that I like and end up with some approach to that which I scribbled in. So again, you can scribble, these little scribble marks let you be very free and loose with your drawing. So much like empathic sketching with these broad curves, you can do the same thing with developing curves. So if you're making a circle, you can scratch in a circle. I don't think I'll do that here, but I can scratch in a circle like this, just loosely, and I can keep working it until it's circular. And I can go over with the contour. I can develop the contours further. Now the last thing I wanted to show was contour drawing. So this is a way to work out forms quickly, and I'll do one other thing too here, but I can just kind of work out some shapes like this. And I'm going to use a red pencil just to highlight things, and I can pull out the contours of this to kind of help me get an idea what this might look like. And so I can use, these contours are simply a guide to help me understand the basic form of this. So it's a real simple shape, and I'm working it out, and I'm going to put in some more contour lines to my heart's content. I'm using red just to differentiate it, but you could do this monochromatically as well, and whatever you want. So this is a basic shape, and then I can even start etching things out if I'd like. And it lets me just explore different forms easily. So if you're ideating, you can just generate a bunch of these shapes and soap bars and such, and you can create contours that you think are intriguing. So that's contour drawing. And the last thing I wanted to show was sort of an additional element of scribble sketching, and I'll use a blue pen, where you can draw something, and I'm going to scribble it in, and you're filling the paper up, and I don't know what I'm drawing here, but I'm just going to draw something. Notice I'm just scribbling. I'm trying to invent something here. I'm trying to come up with some idea, and I'm scribbling some things here and just letting my eye and hand work together, and you hold your pen or marker back a little bit, just keep things loose and free, and then you can go back with, well, I'll use a Sharpie again, even though, and it's the same technique. I can go over my lines and clean them up and just make them behave the way I want them to behave, and you just fill up the paper with these ideas using blue and black ink and just a lot of ink. Just get ink all over the place. In fact, if you do something really dense, it's interesting. I think of it like turquoise. If you look at some jewelry, you'll see these inclusions that show interesting shapes. So I'm just scribbling here, and in here, if I scribble enough, I might find some interesting shapes that jump out. And I'm trying to see, well, here's a little, let me use red, see if that shows up. There's a little shape that's popping out at me. So you can do this if you're doing, especially organic structures. You can kind of play with the lines and just see what evolves. Thank you.